Hello and welcome to a prospecting video. So these last couple of days I have been trying to find out a way to complete the mastery fast. And I have came up with a solution and I have put together a new build and a new museum for you guys to follow if you have enough resources, because this is not a cheap build to make. But the museum is honestly kind of straightforward, it's just the equipment that is quite pricey. So with these mastery quests, a lot of them require you to get a lot of minerals. So if we just have a look, this one says collect 5,000, collect 20,000, collect 100,000 materials from Fortune River. So the more you progress up the mastery, the more items you need to collect. And I thought, what is the best way to get more materials? And that is something called capacity. Now, capacity determines how much you can fill your pan, and you will see, once I click my pan, I have a capacity of 12,466. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how I done it. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the museum. Because if we take a look at the bottom left at our museum stats, I have a capacity of 4.11 times. And what that means is, whatever capacity I cook up in my equipment, it will give me a 4 times that value. And the items are actually quite easy to get for the museum, for the capacity museum. And this is what my museum looks like. So we have, for the commons, we have pyrite 92 kg, seashell 31 kg, and a pearl 27 kg. And then for the uncommons, we have coral 18 kg, topaz 24 kg, neodymium 57 kg. And then we're going to move on to the rares. For the rares, we have silver clamshell 31, ruby 28, meteoric iron 56, moonstone 76, golden pearl 38, ammonite fossil 80. And then for the legendaries, we've got cat's eye 23, firefly stone 80, and luminum 42. And then if we just take a look at the mythics and the exotics, because these are the most important ones to use, is the Prismara 34 kg, a Voidstone 29, and a Vortessence 27. Now, this museum can be quite hard to obtain all of these items, but this allows me to have a capacity of 4.11 times. And if you're wondering what the minimum kg you need for the maximum stats, I can show you this here. So what you want to do is take the items I just shown you and look at this grid, this reference chart, because this will tell you the kg that you need minimum for the maximum stats. So I will leave a link to this chart in the description for you to take a further look at or download for yourself, if you do want to follow this capacity method. And it's also just a decent museum, to be honest. Like, I worked on this for the past couple of days, and I think it's generally a good museum to use while chasing masteries. And you might be wondering why I'm using the Void Torn modification, and that is because Void Torn gives you luck and, you've guessed it, capacity. And I'm pretty sure it is the only modification that gives you capacity, so you want to make sure you get Void Torn items. If you don't know how to get Void Torn modification, because it can be quite difficult, you can either look for Void Torn inside of the Void, or you can use something called the Galactic Pan and the Galactic Shovel, which gives you boosted odds to get Void Torn items. Or if you don't have any of those and you don't have any Void Shards, you can get a shovel enchant called Void Touched. So you can put that enchant on any shovel in the game, and that will give you a better chance to get Void Torn items in the normal world. So you don't have to go into a void. So I have worked the past couple of days on this museum and this build that I'm about to show you as well, just to try and get the most capacity possible so I get the most items possible. Because if we take a look at the mastery again, all of them do require you to get a lot of materials, But some of them require you to get, like if we just take a look at the one I'm currently working towards, the Fortune River Mastery 4, you need 100 mythics, 5,000 legendaries, and 100,000 materials for one quest. Now that quest does take a lot of time, and you can use special items such as the Rainstone, which gives river rapids inside of the Fortune River, so you just generally get more items. But some locations don't actually have those special items, like Fortune River you can use Rainstones, Sunset Beach you can't use anything, Crystal Cavern you can't use anything, Caldera you can use volcanic eruptions, Snowy Mountain you can use blizzards, but I'm pretty sure that just gives you more luck, so it's probably not even needed. Overgrown Caves, if you do need more luck, then you can use something called a Spirit Orb. And a Spirit Orb basically spawns Nemu's Blessing. And Nemu's Blessing just gives you a bunch of luck. It doesn't give you more items like the Volcanic Eruption. The Volcanic Eruption gives you a lot of more items. Now we're going to be talking about the equipment you want to use. So you want to look for equipment that is based around capacity and shake speed. And this is what I've come up with. So we have, oh, I just need to equip this. I didn't want to wear it during the first part of the video, but now we got the Pumpkin Lord on. So the items you want to use is Amulet of Spirits, Pumpkin Lord, and 8 Vortex Rings. Because if we take a look at the Vortex Rings, you get a capacity of over 300 per Vortex Ring if you max it out. If you max it out, you get a total of 325 capacity per ring. So just from the rings, you are gaining thousands of capacity. And then I'm using the Amulet of Spirits because it has a dig speed of 40% and a shake speed of 39%. And that shake speed is very important to shake down 12,000 capacity. And then last but not least, I'm using the Pumpkin Lord because the Pumpkin Lord gives you a shake strength of 51. And this is the biggest shake strength you will get from an equipment piece. And it also gives you a walk speed of 3.5 because runes are actually very important with this build as well. The runes you want to use is Summit Seeker, Speed 1, Mountain Climber, Critical 1 and Critical 2. Because Summit Seeker, if you didn't know, you get a 5% dig and shake speed for every +1 bonus walk speed. And that's what we were just looking at on the Pumpkin Lord. You get a 3.5 bonus walk speed. So that item alone will be giving me just over a 15% dig and shake speed. So I can shake down 12,000 capacity faster. And then Speed 1 gives you 2 walk speed. Mountain Climber gives you 3 walk speed. And then I am using Critical 1 and Critical 2 because every time you dig, you have a 20% chance to have 2 times strength. And that means it basically does double the strength when you're digging to fill your pan. So if you use Critical 1 and Critical 2, you will have a 40% chance to double hit. Like you will actually hear the double hit as well. Like there. It makes like a little sound in the background for when you double hit. So right now I am shaking without totems, so it is very, very slow. And there is also potions you can buy from the merchant to help speed up the shaking. You can use Blitz Potion, which gives you a 40% dig and shake speed above what your current speeds already are. And then you can buy something called a Quake Potion as well, which gives you basically more shake strength. So there is a lot of items in this game you can use to speed up the process. And to make this equipment build, if you do want to follow it, you need something called an Amulet of Spirits and a Pumpkin Lord. If you don't have any of them, just look for equipment pieces that have capacity or shake speed or shake strength. But if you do want to get those pieces, you can actually buy them for candy inside of this Halloween event. But this Halloween event does disappear in 4 days, so you have to hurry up and come buy them. And you will find the blueprints for these craftable pieces right here. So we have the Ring of Harvest blueprint, which I'm not using. We have the Amulet of Spirits blueprint for 550 candy. And we have the Pumpkin Lord blueprint for 800 candy. And in 4 days, these blueprints will no longer be available in the whole entire game. So make sure you get these blueprints as fast as possible. Try and get all 3 of them if you can, just so you have them. But you will need a lot of candy. So you will need to be using the cauldron to get that amount of candy you need. So with the traveling merchant, you really want to get the Quake and Blitz potions because they really do help with this build. Like, I have completed the Rubble Creek mastery, and that took a lot of time. Because the last mission I needed to get 100,000 items, and that takes a long time without stuff like rainstone and volcanic eruptions. But now I'm on the Fortune River mastery, I want to show you what this build can actually do now. So this is without the Blitz and Quake potion, but I do have something called 2x dig amount, which giving me daily strength, which you get every 5 days. So we're just going to put down a strength totem real quick. And then you also want to use something called a luminate totem as well. Because a luminate totem, you can get them from the cauldron or in the Halloween area for candy. The luminate totem actually boosts the speed and capacity of what you're doing. You get 50% speed and 1.5 times capacity. So you actually shake a lot faster while doing this. So let's take a look on what this build can do. So I'll fill my pan in 3 hits if I don't get a critical. And I'm now on 13,983 capacity. And you will see that it don't actually take too long to shake away that much capacity. Like, it really doesn't. You actually shake away 14,000 capacity quite fast. And the amount of items I'm getting per pan right now is probably like 70, maybe 50-ish. But if we enable something called, where is it? A rainstone and spawn a river rapids, look how many items I get now. This goes crazy. Look at this. Look how many items are in that pan. So we just gained about 300 items towards our mission from one pan, pretty much. So it's actually very, very OP to use river rapids, rainstones, to complete the Fortune River mastery. And like I said, there is other items you can use to speed up the process in other areas as well. Like this capacity museum and this capacity build, I generally think this is the fastest method to complete the mastery. Let me know what you think in the comments on if this is good or not, because I generally believe it is. And I've always wanted to make like a full capacity museum as well and build, just to see what it was like. Like, you will see that I'm actually shaking away 14,000 capacity quite fast. But if I had like the Blitz potion and the Quake potion, it would be even faster. But like I said, I am using my 2x strength, which I get every 5 days. But if I was using the Blitz and Quake potion, it would basically do the same exact effects as the 2x strength. So just imagine I'm using Blitz and Quake potions. And this is the speed you will get if you use the exact same build. Now, like I said, it is expensive to make this build. Like, you do need a lot of materials to craft these items because they are very OP. So if you don't have enough for these items, so look for equipment pieces that have capacity, shake strength, and shake speed. Because all 3 of those is very important. And it is getting a bit laggy because we are getting a lot of items right now per pan. And those critical 1 and critical 2 runes are also very important because you will see that I'm filling a 14,000 capacity pan in 2 hits sometimes. But if it is making you lag the amount of items in your pan like it is doing to me, there is a setting you can enable. So if we take a look in the settings and take a little scroll down, you will see something called simple models when panning. And what you need to do is tick that on, and now you won't lag when you're like panning away. Like, look at this. It basically makes all the items in your pan really, really small. They're like little cubes now. Oh, we just completed a daily quest. That's always nice. But we're not aiming for that. We're aiming for the Rain Dancer title because that's what I want. We're doing the Fortune River Mastery 4. Like, look how many items are in this pan. How many even is that? I'm pretty sure that was over 300 items. I just saw my mission go up by like 300. So I'm getting 300 materials per pan almost. Like, that is insane. Like, to complete this 100,000 materials from Fortune River, it should not take me that long. Like, it really shouldn't. And as you see, I'm still getting a fair amount of mythics as well. So that mission at the top where I need to get 100 mythics and 5,000 legendaries, they will just be like passive. They really will. Like, and if I did need more luck, then I can use like luck totems as well. But I am trying to save on shards a bit. I don't really need to save, but it's always nice to save on shards. So I am only using a luminate totem and a strength totem, because a strength totem is very important and so is a luminate totem. So you want to make sure you use both of them with this build to complete the mastery. And I think that's going to be the end of the video. So I've shown you the capacity museum, I have shown you the capacity build, and this is the highest capacity you will ever get in the game currently. I'm pretty sure there isn't any other way to get more capacity. I could be wrong, so if I am, then please leave a comment down below saying where I'm wrong, because I always love to be proven wrong. I actually do. Because knowledge is everything in this game, it really is. So if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like, and if you really enjoyed, then please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.